Ladies and gentlemen, when we speak of the lion, we are not merely describing an animal. We are describing a mindset. A lion does not wake in the morning worried about the opinions of hyenas. It rises with one focus, to fulfill its nature with strength, with discipline, with courage. Unshaken focus is the essence of the lion's power. When the lion walks through the jungle, every creature takes notice, but the lion itself does not waste time noticing every creature. It does not lower its head to the barking of wild dogs or the chatter of restless birds. Its eyes are forward, its steps deliberate, its mind fixed only on what matters. The lion is not distracted by noise because it knows that noise does not change its path. It is purpose that guides its movement, and purpose is never swayed by the opinions or interruptions of the crowd. In life, we face the same kind of noise. The noise of doubt, the noise of criticism, the noise of distractions that try to scatter our attention in every direction. The world will always be filled with voices trying to drag us away from what we know we must do. Some of those voices will come from outside, but many will rise from within, whispering excuses and reasons to quit. The lion teaches us that if we answer every voice, if we allow every noise to dictate our steps, we will never move forward. Strength is not only about power, it is about the discipline to remain fixed on the mission despite the clamor that surrounds us. Unshaken focus requires an understanding of what truly matters. The lion is not interested in chasing every small creature that crosses its path. It conserves its energy for the hunt that counts, the pursuit that sustains life. It teaches us that scattering ourselves thin across countless meaningless pursuits leaves us empty, while committing to one clear purpose gives us the fuel to endure and succeed. This kind of focus is not passive, it is active clarity. It demands saying no to what does not serve us, no to the temptations of distraction, and no to the comfort of wandering without direction. The jungle will test the lion with storms, hunger, and the challenge of rival beasts, but the lion does not retreat into confusion. Its mind remains steady, for it does not need the approval of the jungle to act. Likewise, we cannot wait for conditions to be perfect, nor can we base our path on applause or validation. We must set our aim and hold it with patience, moving forward in silence if necessary. Unshaken focus means carrying ourselves with composure, neither hurried by fear nor derailed by mockery. It is a discipline of the mind and a practice of the spirit. When our focus is unshaken, obstacles do not become walls, but steps. The lion reminds us that clarity is power, and that nothing in the jungle, no matter how loud or chaotic, has the right to pull us away from what we are here to do. Inner discipline is the silent strength that separates power from chaos. A lion is not the strongest animal in the jungle by sheer size, yet it rules because its strength is guided, not wasted. It does not roar at every moment to prove itself, nor does it charge aimlessly into battle for the sake of noise. It knows the value of conserving energy, of waiting, of choosing the right moment. True strength is not measured in how loudly one shows it, but in how wisely one holds it. Patience becomes its weapon, and silence its shield, because undisciplined power is nothing more than recklessness. In our own lives, we often confuse movement with progress, noise with influence, or force with impact. The lion teaches us that discipline is what gives strength meaning. Without self-control, we chase distractions, surrender to impulses, and waste energy on battles that do not matter. Discipline is the invisible line that directs our actions and keeps us from scattering our potential. It is the ability to restrain desire when the time is not right, to endure discomfort without surrendering, and to remain calm in the presence of provocation. Power without this restraint destroys itself. Power with discipline becomes unstoppable. Patience is not weakness, but mastery over time. The lion does not rush its hunt. It studies, it waits, it moves with purpose only when the opportunity is undeniable. This patience does not mean idleness, it means preparation. In the silence before the strike, the lion is gathering strength, studying its path, sharpening its awareness. So too must we learn to endure the quiet seasons of preparation without frustration, for those who waste their strength on impatience are never ready when the moment of truth arrives. Silence is another form of discipline, one that is often forgotten in a world that equates noise with importance. The lion does not need to announce its intentions. Its silence speaks louder than the clamor of other animals. Likewise, our discipline is shown not in how often we speak of our goals, but in how consistently we act upon them without needing recognition. Silence protects focus, and it keeps others from distracting us with their doubts or their envy. Inner discipline is the ruler of the self. It is choosing not to react to every insult, not to break under every pressure, not to surrender to every temptation. It is a steady hand that holds back the chaos of emotion and channels it into strength. The lion embodies this truth by refusing to waste itself on trivial pursuits, saving every ounce of power for the decisive moment. Strength is not just muscle, it is the control of the muscle, the control of the mind, and the control of the spirit. Calm amid chaos is the quality that turns fear into clarity and struggle into opportunity. A lion in the heart of a storm does not scatter like smaller creatures, nor does it pace in panic at the sound of thunder or the movement of shadows. It remains steady because its power is not shaken by what it cannot control. The lion understands that chaos belongs to the jungle, but calm belongs to itself. In the middle of noise, uncertainty, and threat, the lion holds its ground, for panic has never saved anyone, and fear has never guided a prepared mind to victory. Chaos will always come. Life will test us with sudden storms, unexpected failures, and the disruption of everything we thought was stable. Most beings break under these pressures, consumed not by the chaos itself, but by their reaction to it. The lion shows us another way. When surrounded by confusion, it does not rush, it does not act blindly, and it does not allow the storm to dictate its choices. Its calm is not ignorance of danger, but recognition that panic only feeds danger. By standing still in strength, the lion proves that composure is the first act of survival and the first step toward victory. Preparation is the hidden foundation of calm. A lion does not fear the storm because it has faced hunger before, it has battled rivals, it has endured the harshest tests of the wild. Each challenge has forged readiness, and that readiness becomes its armor. In the same way, our ability to remain calm when chaos strikes is born from discipline, practice, and the steady building of resilience in quieter times. The person who has trained their mind, who has faced struggle without surrender, who has endured discomfort without complaint, meets chaos with an unshaken heart. Fear may rise, but it does not take command. Calm is also a form of leadership. In the jungle, other creatures scatter when danger approaches, but the lion's composure commands respect. It teaches us that in times of turmoil, the one who remains calm becomes a pillar for others. Panic spreads quickly, but so does courage, and the lion embodies the courage of stillness. To be calm amid chaos is to inspire others to hold their ground, to believe that survival and triumph are possible even when the storm rages. Chaos does not define the lion. The lion defines itself in the face of chaos. We too must learn to stand unmoved when fear attempts to claim us. The storm will come whether we are ready or not, but our reaction is ours to command. Calm amid chaos is not the denial of fear, but the mastery of it, and it is this mastery that allows the lion to rule not only the jungle but itself. Self-reliance is the foundation of true strength, and the lion is the perfect embodiment of this principle. A lion does not lower itself to beg for food or for safety. It hunts, it creates its own opportunities, and it provides for itself and for those who depend on it. In the wild, dependence is weakness, because no creature is guaranteed to protect you, feed you, or fight for you. The lion understands this truth instinctively and moves through life with the certainty that what it needs, it must secure with its own claws, its own strength, and its own courage. In our lives, the temptation to depend on others is constant. It is easy to hope that someone will open the door for us, fight our battles, or ease our struggles. But reliance on the strength of others makes us fragile. When those supports fall, we fall with them. The lion teaches us that independence is the only path to resilience. By providing for itself, it guarantees that no matter what happens, its survival rests on its own ability. This mindset transforms weakness into power, because it eliminates the excuses that come from waiting on others to save us. Self-reliance is not arrogance, nor is it the rejection of community. Even lions hunt in groups when the need arises, but each one carries its own weight. Each member of the pride is capable, strong, and responsible for contributing. This shows us that independence is not about isolating ourselves, but about ensuring that we are strong enough to stand on our own, even as we walk with others. A person who is self-reliant becomes valuable to their family, their team, their society, because they do not drain strength from others but add to it. Dependence weakens because it erodes our confidence. The more we wait for others to provide, the less we believe in our own ability to achieve. Independence strengthens because every challenge faced alone sharpens our mind, hardens our spirit, and builds our faith in our own resilience. When we rely on ourselves, every victory becomes proof that we can endure the next storm. Self-reliance feeds courage, and courage feeds progress. There is dignity in self-reliance. Just as the lion holds its head high knowing it has earned its survival through its own effort, we too walk taller when we know we have created, provided, and achieved without begging for permission or waiting for rescue. The world will not always be kind, and help may not always arrive, but the one who has learned to rely on their own strength will not be broken by this truth. Instead, they will rise, as the lion rises, unshaken by scarcity, undiminished by hardship, because they carry within themselves all they need to endure and overcome. Courage over comfort is the choice that separates survival from greatness. The lion is powerful not because it rests under the shade of the trees, but because it dares to step into the hunt. Comfort is easy, but it produces nothing. Resting too long leaves the belly empty, the body weak, and the spirit untested. The lion understands this law of the wild. To live fully, it must risk failure, it must leave safety, and it must embrace the uncertainty of the chase. This is not recklessness, but courage, the willingness to trade ease for challenge, because true power does not grow in the arms of comfort but in the fires of struggle. In human life, comfort seduces us at every turn. It whispers to stay in bed a little longer, to avoid the difficult task, to seek the path of least resistance. Comfort feeds laziness, and laziness starves potential. The lion mentality rejects this. The lion knows that survival depends on stepping into discomfort, that strength is forged only in the hunt, and that courage is the price of progress. When we choose courage over comfort, we accept that growth will hurt, but we also accept that this pain is the proof of becoming stronger. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of fear. The lion does not know whether the hunt will succeed, whether the prey will escape, or whether danger lies waiting, but it goes anyway. Each hunt carries risk, yet the lion does not allow that uncertainty to freeze it into inaction. We too must act when the outcome is unclear. If we wait for certainty, we will spend our lives waiting. Courage is the decision to step forward even when the ground is not guaranteed. Discomfort sharpens the lion. The hunger in its belly pushes it to chase harder, to move faster, to strike with precision. In the same way, discomfort sharpens us. The struggles we endure teach us patience, resilience, and endurance. Every challenge faced is a lesson written into our character. Comfort teaches us nothing, it only dulls our edge. But discomfort builds wisdom, teaches humility, and prepares us for greater trials ahead. Choosing courage over comfort is the path to leadership and self-respect. A lion that hides from the hunt cannot feed itself or its pride. Likewise, a person who avoids discomfort cannot provide for their own growth, let alone inspire others. Those who embrace courage carve a legacy, because they prove that fear can be mastered and comfort can be denied in pursuit of something greater. The lion shows us that greatness does not belong to those who hide in safety, but to those who dare to face the unknown. True power is born when we leave behind the illusions of comfort and walk boldly into the challenges that shape us. Legacy of action is the truth that what endures beyond a life is not words, not noise, but deeds. A lion's roar may echo across the jungle and announce its presence, but when the sound fades, it is the evidence of its strength, its hunts, and its leadership that remain in the memory of the wild. The lion is not respected because it makes itself heard, it is respected because it acts, because it proves itself through consistency, because its power is shown in motion rather than in promises. The jungle does not remember noise, it remembers results. For human beings, the temptation to speak without acting is always present. We talk of what we will do, of who we wish to be, of the heights we plan to reach, but talk alone builds nothing. A legacy is carved only through action, and action must be repeated until it becomes identity. Honor cannot be claimed by words, it is earned by what we do in the face of challenges, how we rise when we fall, and how we persist when the path is heavy. Consistency is the thread that binds every act into a lasting mark. Without it, effort is forgotten. With it, effort becomes history. Action requires discipline, for it demands we rise each day and take steps, even when we feel tired, even when the world gives us reasons to delay. The lion does not hunt only when it feels strong. It hunts because the survival of its pride depends on it. In the same way, we must act not only when convenient but when necessary, because the future we build depends on the decisions we make daily. A single roar may turn heads for a moment, but consistent action commands respect for a lifetime. A legacy is not about grand moments alone, It is built in the small, unseen choices that accumulate into greatness. The lion's dominance is not a single victory but the repetition of countless successful hunts, the endurance through storms, the defense of its pride again and again. So too is our legacy. It is not just one achievement but the sum of steady actions, the record of how we lived, the mark of persistence. The world remembers not what we claimed we would do, but what we actually did. True honor lies in proving through action what others only say through words. It is easy to roar, to announce our dreams, to demand recognition. But the lion teaches us that real recognition requires no announcement. When action is consistent, respect comes naturally, and legacy takes form without shouting. Our deeds become our story, our persistence becomes our testimony, and our courage in action becomes our honor. What remains after us is not the echo of our voices but the imprint of our steps, and that is the legacy that lives.